here with manager Bud Black. If anybody would like to start us off with our first question, we'll go ahead and start with Tracy. Go ahead, Trace.
Buddy, any early word on the situation with the left-hander from yesterday?
Feeling better, Trace. He's going through a regimen in the training room of treatment. He'll get out on the field here shortly, move around, play catch. We'll see how it is. But I spoke to him earlier. At times, he's a man of a few words. And I asked him, Kyle, how you doing? He goes, good. So I took that as a positive.
With him, it probably is.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
I think he's going to be okay. I do. I mean, we'll know in the next 24 hours. He's due to throw a bullpen session tomorrow. If that doesn't go well, then, I'll let you guys know. But, we meaning Kyle, coaching staff, training staff, we think he's going to be okay. But we're going to make sure we're going to be, we're going to do the right thing.
Will they ask for your advice on if they want to pick one of your players to fill out the roster, right? Don't they usually have to take at least one player from every team?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, yes. There's been cases in the past where I've been asked about players on my own team and players on other teams too. So I think that happens. There's a wide cachet of opinions given on a number of players that on the team. But it could be anywhere. Trace, could be position players, pitchers, relief pitchers, starters. And as that roster changes a lot that last weekend before everybody heads to Denver.
I mean, you could ostensibly make an argument for probably at least four of your guys, right?
Sure. The guys, some of our four best players. And there's still some time left to play, right? There's still, a number of games left to really make a statement as a representative from our team, from, like you said, a handful of guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Thomas.
I'm speaking of those guys, Marquez starting tonight.
Yeah, you make a case for him too. 6-6 with some nice numbers. Walk total's a little high, but he's a good pitcher.
I remember just talking to him briefly, and he had said that he would love to get rid of that odd bad start that happens every now and then because his numbers on most of the starts are really good. Sometimes, though, it seems like when he has a bad game, he snaps back in and really pitches well for a while. Is that a trait that you see in him, and what do you think that's attributable to?
Well, I think there's a tremendous, for lack of a better word, he's after a bad outing, he's mad at himself. Said, "Hey, that is not me. I will prove to you that last start was an aberration." I think it's in simple terms. And he knows what went wrong in that game, and he fixes it. He fixes it the next start.
Also, Sam Hilliard, we always see home runs from him in AAA. Batting average has been dicey at times. Strikeouts have been dicey. How close is he to kind of getting his place back here? Or what are the things that you have to see out of him before he's really a candidate to come back here and be part of the mix?
Well, I think, first of all, the statistics speak for themselves. But I think it's more about, the fundamental approach and the fundamental swing that Sam needs to work on. And, he's been given directives, obviously to, without getting into too much detail, to shorten his swing a little bit. There's some things on the mechanics side that we've worked on here, the hitting coaches and Sam, that under the direction of Pedro Lopez and Warren Schaefer down in AAA, to keep an eye on those mechanics. That will help him upon his return to the big leagues. It's statistically, it's cutting down the strikeouts. The walk rate's pretty good. The batting average, should be, with these mechanical changes, should be resulting in a higher batting average. But he's working on these things that are probably a little bit uncomfortable to him. But Sam knows that he has to make these changes to have major league success, because facing Walker Buehler, Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, whatever starting pitcher, or whatever back end reliever or bullpen names, major league pitchers, it's hard, and it requires not one type of swing, but your swing that has to be, in Sam's case, modified to hit big league pitching.
I guess that's the thing, is it's so hard to tell from AAA stats, but
Right.
what kind
Which is correct, right? You said it.
what kind of progress is he making on the principles that you?
Yeah, the everyday reports we're getting from Pedro and Schaefer that the approach is better, the swing is in progress, but getting shorter, the bat path, the more consistent, all the things that the hitting coaches talk about. He is improving on.
Okay, and I just wanted to make sure to kind of double check. Yesterday, Austin Gomber played catch. So is the side session / bullpen within the next day or so, and then go out on rehab?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. And after that, is it rehab or is it checked with?
Probably another bullpen. Right, at least two bullpens.
All right. Thank you very much, buddy.
Yep.
Couple more hands here. Go ahead, Kevin Henry.
Hey, buddy, tomorrow marks the 81st game of the season. And I know you're always a be ready for anything kind of guy, but is there anything?
Number one.
Exactly. Is there anything that you've learned about this team through the first half of the season that, or was more clarified in the first half than out of spring training?
Not really. Not really, Kevin. I think that, again, I think again, I've said this, a number of times on the character side. This is a tough team. There's a lot of tough guys that, are going through, a tough year, but they're not, they're not melting. They're fighting harder. Performance-wise, we've talked about, Daza of late.
Yeah.
We talked about our starting rotation. Not many things have surprised us per se, and not many things that we have. Not many things we haven't learned that we didn't already know. Nothing has really caught us by surprise. And people ask me if I'm surprised by Daza. No, when I think back to what we saw in spring training and how he played, and it's a different player than what we saw last year. In the early part of 2020, his first at bats in the big leagues. His first 20 at bats, and now you look at those at bats and where he is now. It's a big difference. So big pat on the back to him in that regard.
And are you a guy who says the first half of the season is the first 81 games, or it's till the All-Star break and then the second half happens after that?
Usually I'm after the All-Star break guy, if I was to be characterized, but I'm more of the end of the season guy, right? Let's look at the end of the season and evaluate what happened. But, along the way, we're doing that every day anyway. So, but I'm usually after the All-Star break.
Thanks, buddy.
Mark Stout, go ahead and close us out.
Yeah, buddy, I don't know if you've heard, but Spilly is nicknamed Tapia and Daza, Swagger and Dagger. I'd like your opinion on that nickname. Thanks.
Okay. And is he referring to Tapia as Swagger and Daza as Dagger, or the other way around?
Correct.
I think they both have swag. I mean, you could look at Daza and make a case that with his multiple buttons unbuttoned and the chains and some of his pre-at-bat routines, his blonde hair, you can make for him having a little swag. Same with Tap, Tap's hair, Tap's style. They both have swag. And I think they both, have that killer instinct in them, to put the dagger in. So I guess you can go either way with it, but I wouldn't say they're drastically different in each department. I think they both sort of encompass both those nicknames.
Interchangeable, left and right. I love it. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, that's what I got. Okay, guys, I'll see you out there.